Fanatical flames, fanned by propaganda, sent tens of thousands of men to the banner of the so-called Islamic State. Thousands of women went too.
They are always thinking about women. They are very obsessed with women.
Were these ISIS brides and families drawn by utopian dreams?
In ISIS, all free, all medicine free.
Or did they share the ideology of a death cult? This was never part of the plan. The wives of foreign immigrants to the so-called Islamic State enjoyed a status above all others. Now home is a refugee camp, in a cell, in enemy territory, Kurd-held Syria. Raqqa was a magnet drawing in thousands of volunteers to the capital of the new so-called caliphate. Now it's a battlefield. And many senior ISIS leaders have sent their families out of the city. Here in Ain Issa, 4 women suspected of close ties to ISIS are being held in a secure location. Their husbands are under arrest or still in Raqqa. Aisha, a Syrian, is married to a Moroccan. He came to Raqqa before the caliphate was declared 2 years ago, and she insists his aim was purely spiritual.
Look, all the immigrants, when they came to Raqqa, it's not for the purpose of fighting or war. Many immigrants, especially from European countries, they came because they can do Islam in that place. It's not for war or for going to military camps. They just want to live in a Muslim community.
But it turns out her husband came to deal in antiquities, stolen heritage used to fund ISIS.
And my husband was working in ruins, Antica, and you know, all things in French and Spain. He's buying and selling such things. And that friend told him that there's good things here in Raqqa and you can buy it from me in a good price. And
unwittingly revealing her husband's financial connections and his success within the tightly controlled ISIS structures, Aisha also let slip that she knew al-Hussein, Sally Jones, the convert from Kent who married the head of the digital jihad, Junaid Hussein. He was killed in a drone strike in 2015. Now Aisha claims Jones wants to come home.
Did you meet many British people?
I see one British woman. She was Hussein Brittany, and she lost her husband in a battle, and she has one boy. She's about 50 years, and she's very cute, and she was crying because she wants to go back to British, and you know, Islamic State prevent her because she is now a military wife. And she told me that she wished to go to her country.
You know,
her friend Fatima is a German immigrant of Lebanese descent. She's married to a German Turk. She again insists that he was a civilian, but he emigrated to the caliphate more than 2 years ago and was wounded in an airstrike in Mosul. This is where ISIS leaders were concentrated. She fled an unhappy marriage at home in Germany to join him after being groomed by him online. She now says that she feels manipulated, but she still loves her new husband. These women are being treated with deep suspicion by the Kurdish authorities. Not so this group. 2 years ago, 9 women and 5 men, all connected by family ties, chose to leave Jakarta for a nation at war.
It's because I am sick. I have to do surgery soon, and my money in Indonesia it's not so. And in ISIS, all free, all medicine free, surgery free, and we will get a monthly salary because we are muhajir. They promise to us like that. They soon get us out, me and my son, to Mosul to get all the surgery, all the therapy. Alhamdulillah, my son now can walk, but his autism, no, it's not better. And me, I get surgery, alhamdulillah. Yeah, so it's why.
The youngest women seem to take the lead in persuading the family to leave. Hypnotized, perhaps, by the utopian dream offered by ISIS propaganda.
When you see on the internet, you see the murder of Jim Foley, the head cutting of the Western journalists, the people accused of homosexuality thrown off buildings. This is a terrible behaviour, yet you still came here. That seems crazy to me.
You know, first she have told to you that we have read all about ISIS propaganda from the internet, from Facebook, Tumblr, and etc. And I have contact too from people from Raqqa via Tumblr. Do you know Tumblr? Yeah. I have contact with them, with one of them. He tell about us about the beautiful things inside ISIS, and actually, I'm very afraid to see that video about cutting the head. And firstly, I thought it's maybe it's not from ISIS, maybe it's from the group who the group who hate ISIS, like not ISIS, maybe the other group. When in Indonesia, I just focus with the beautiful things inside ISIS. Like they will give you a very big monthly salary, and they will pay back your journey costs from, for example, from Jakarta to Turkey to Raqqa. Our money, they will pay back our money.
These young women were also groomed online, almost certainly by the unit headed by Sally Jones, the head of ISIS female recruitment.
There's a woman and the man in Tumblr. Okay?
Well, do you know who they were? Did you ever meet them in real life?
Never. Just know them in internet. Because after internet, lost contact with them. Lost contact.
In the end, they claim, ISIS left them with a sense of disgust, especially the advances from fighters.
And did any of you get married in Raqqa?
No. They are very obsessed with women. Like, for example, when I and my father were walking in the market, suddenly there was a man come to my father. And then he said, my father doesn't know who he is. And then, hello, assalamualaikum, how are you? And like that, do you know a girl, a widow or a single? And my father said, what? Who you are? I don't know who. And you come to me suddenly, just see. And that time, it's a silly things, you know. It's very crazy. It makes us disgusting. Their thing are woman married, and then after married for the first, for the second, and the third, and the fourth. Oh my goodness.
I've just concluded my interviews with the women who are married to people who emigrated to join the so-called Islamic State. And just as we finished the interview, American intelligence agents have turned up to subject them to cross-examination as well. I think one of the things I can take away from these interviews, particularly with the woman from Germany, is how manipulative the Islamic State can be. She was clearly groomed online, as were the girls from Indonesia, with a dream of joining a state that was a land of milk and honey, a very long way away from the murderous death cult, really, that we understand the Islamic State to be. This doesn't mean that these women who were seduced with the dream of a perfect caliphate are in any way guilty of anything other than total naivety.
Some may face prosecution here or at home, but in the meantime they wait in limbo, their fate still linked to those who caused the catastrophe of the caliphate in the first place, to men. Sam Kiley, Sky News, Ainissa.